How can you find the best rate of exchange for e-money? Take advantage of the services at bestchange.com. There are a lot of currency exchange sites on the internet, and every one of them sets their own rate of exchange and constantly adjusts it. Even the most popular exchange sites don't always have good rates or the necessary currency reserves.
As a bit of a throwaway fact, Stanley Martin Lieber, Stan Lee, revealed the secret of his slicked-back mane on the second page of his memoir. "My whole adult life, I've never been to a barber," he wrote. "Joni always cuts my hair." Lee wrote that as a child he loved to read books by Mark Twain, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, and others, and his mother often watched him read. "I probably got my self-confidence from the fact that my mother thought everything I did was brilliant." Before writing about the fantastic lives of fictional characters, Lee wrote ante-mortem obituaries for celebrities at an undisclosed news office in New York. He said that he eventually quit that job because it was too depressing. A week into his job at Timely Comics, Lee got the opportunity to write a 2-page Captain America comic. He wrote it under the pen name Stan Lee, which became his legal name, and titled it Captain America Foils the Traitor's Revenge. His first full comic script would come in Captain America Issue 5, published August 1, 1941. After being transferred from the Army's Signal Corps in New Jersey, Lee worked as a playwright in the training film division in Queens with 8 other men, including a few who went on to be very famous. Pulitzer Prize-winning author William Sorrow and cartoonist Charles Addams, creator of The Addams Family. Director Frank Capra, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, 1939, and It's a Wonderful Life, 1946, and Theodore Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss. In 1971, Lee received a letter from the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare asking him to put an anti-drug message in one of his books. He came up with a Spider-Man story that involved his best friend Harry abusing pills because of it. Breakup. The CCA would not approve the story with a seal because of the mention of drugs. But Lee convinced his publisher, Martin Goodman, to run the comic anyway. The character was supposed to be gray, but according to Lee, the printer had a hard time keeping the color consistent. So as of issue number 2, Lee wrote, with no explanation, he turned green. According to Lee, during an argument, Joni destroyed the typewriter he used to write the first issues for characters including Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. "This happened before eBay," he wrote. "Too bad. I could have auctioned the parts and made a mint." When Lee moved his family to Los Angeles, he set up a studio in Van Nuys where he stored videotapes of his talks and interviews, along with a commissioned bust of his wife. The building was lost to a blaze that the fire department believed was arson, but no one was ever charged with the crime. When Lee moved his family to Los Angeles, he set up a studio in Van Nuys where he stored videotapes of his talks and interviews, along with a commissioned bust of his wife. The building was lost to a blaze that the fire department believed was arson, but no one was ever charged with the crime. Beginning with the first Spider-Man film in 2002, Stan Lee has made quick cameos in Marvel films as a service to the fans. He said that his appearance in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, 2007, was inspired by the story of Reed and Sue Richards' wedding in Fantastic Four Annual Volume 1 Number 3, in which he and artist-writer Jack Kirby attempt to crash the ceremony but are thwarted.
100 years from now, if somebody should bring up my name, if it would still be around, it would be nice if people say, geez, I thought he was a good writer. His stories gave me a lot of pleasure. That's what people tell me now, and it's the best thing any writer can ever hear. When I see the characters that I help to create on the screen, I don't really think of them as my characters. I really sit in the theater and I watch them the way every member of the audience watches them. And at the end of the movie, I usually say, damn, that was good. I'm so glad. But I worked with artists who brought them into life, who let people see what they look like and showed the action. There are directors who added so much to the characters and their direction, and the actors who brought so much. It isn't a one-man field. There's so many people contribute. I'm just happy that I've had a hand in all of this, and I'm happy that even after all these years, someone bothers to interview me about it. I'm really very flattered.